Hey dudes and dudettes, Fuck Sol here. Hope you're having a good day today. In this video we will be discussing my favorite bully of all times in the Guilty Gear series. The character that makes me just want to press buttons and bash my way through. That's right, in today's character review episode we're going to be talking about the bad guy himself, the character that needs no introduction. It's all about Sol Badguy, so let's sit back and get on with the show. So, before we continue, I want to first discuss that I know it's been a really long time since I have done any kind of proper content on this channel, and I apologize for that. Recent times we turned this channel over to a streaming channel more or less, but recently with me playing random characters in Strive, I've recently started building an urge, I guess you could say, into trying to do something different, and this is what it's going to be, and I want to see how it goes. This is a video idea that I hope I can create into a series on this channel that will be well received by you. And basically what this is going to be is a character review overview of each character throughout the Guilty Gear series, starting here with Strive. So in the comments below, let me know if you enjoyed this video from what you see, just to help encourage me to either continue this, and even if you dislike it, leave a comment below telling me, this is trash, so that way we can go ahead and discontinue the series before it even starts, if you know what I'm getting at. Alright. So anyway, let's get into it. First off, I would like you to also understand that in this video, this is going to be my own personal opinion from a casual player perspective of my own. I'm not going to go too far in trying to explain from a comparative player perspective, because let's just be honest, I'm no professional competitor. I've had that itch and it's not gone nowhere. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and try to convince you otherwise and tell you, what's the best thing to do. This is just a simple overview of the character from a casual perspective. And if you want those types of videos, to understand the high gameplay level or how to really play the character and stuff like that, there's hundreds of videos on YouTube, I'm pretty sure already. Just go look up one of them. So, alright. Let's get down to it and let's discuss Sol Badguy. My main character since the XR signed series back in 2014. And here in Strive, Sol hasn't changed much as a character here in Strive. He is a balanced character that focuses heavily on getting up close and personal on his beatdowns. Originally in Vanilla Strive, before the major balance update that recently happened, Sol, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, felt like an old man. He felt legit like a character that was stripped of all his options, was given a cane, and instead of beating his opponents with his fist, he would just be like that old man that would be on the porch screaming at them and saying and using his cane to hit them and calling them a bunch of hooligans because they took away several different of his optional routes that he had since, XR or even before then with Accent Core. And he just felt completely like a new character that really lost touch of who he was. Since that balance patch that happened with Strive some time ago, Sol has gone through some nerfs supposedly that to me has helped him regain some of that youthfulness from the old days. That feeling of, I want to punch first, punch second, hell, let's punch a third time before we go about asking questions. Sol to me now, straight up, I find has returned to being more of his older self. And I personally would like to recommend to you today to play him. If you feel like being a bully with limited game knowledge, then I believe Sol is for you. You see, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've had conversations about this topic for a little while with a couple people on stream, off stream, about how much Sol Badguy legit does things for me with my lack of the fundamentals that I have in Strive, okay? Or in Guilty Gear in general, from even XR. It's just because how the character is designed allows my habits to work in some cases. And this is a character that, again, I would recommend to anybody who is starting with Strive, who wants to even try Strive, that doesn't know where to begin at, to attempt to play Sol. And I'm going to explain to you why. Sol, like the rest of the cast, has his Gatling system intact. You can very easily chain his buttons together, from his normals to his specials, his slash to his heavy slash to his dust. Sol really still feels like a character that you can just press buttons and do whatever you want. Sol, in all fairness, gives new players that may not know anything about this game what they truly desire. And it's all to those damn heavy buttons that deal great damage and feel legit amazing when you hit a heavy slash on someone and you're taking a third of their life. Let's put it like this, guys. Sol is a character that you can honestly probably face roll on your controller's buttons and most likely come out with a good chunk of damage off your opponent for absolutely no work. Now, with that stated, let's go ahead and talk about Sol's pros and cons, okay? And I'd like to kick things off with his pros. One of the things with Sol is his damage output. As I mentioned from before, with the face rolling, he has very high damage. And with his intact Gatling system, he possesses a vast amount of combo options. Sol also has a very good defense to him, with many options starting just from his standing kick, which is fucking 3 frames, which is one of the fastest. The only other character that even matches that would be Chip. And it's such a good tool that it's used for as well as like anti-air. Now, with all that being stated, I want to get into Sol's pros and cons. And I think we should kick things right off with Sol's pros. As mentioned basically before, Sol's damage output is very high. And with the intact Gatling system he has maintained since the last balance patch, he is now an even more easier character that has a vast amount of combo options just from this. But with high damage, Sol does come with a very good defense to him, with many options such as his standing K, which is only 3 frames and can also be used as an anti-air tool, his sweep, which is only -4 on block, and guys, let's not forget his DP, Volcanic Viper. These are all great defensive options that he has provided to him, along with the standard options that he and the rest of the cast have. I mean, also, Sol does have very strong strike throw mix-ups that work well to scare his opponents because of his command grab wild throw, which we'll talk about more later. But throw that into the mix of his options, my gosh, he is scary. And oh wait, we cannot forget, guys, that Sol does have very strong on block plus moves, such as close slash, which is +3 on block, far slash, which is +2 on block, and his Fafnir, which is +11. And hey, just because they're plus, we can't forget that it also helps build a great amount of risk damage, so that way when you finally get in on your opponent, that health bar gets deleted. Overall, the pros to Sol shows that he is a very well-rounded character that has an arsenal of tools to really help him out, to not be at a significant disadvantage to the majority of the matchups he gets in. However, though, Sol does have cons that really don't seem to overtake his pros, but they need to be mentioned, such as Sol's neutral game. It's not really bad, but Sol's options are limited. With his standing slash and his sweep, really, they have a limited range. And his far slash also brings his hurt box forward during its startup phase and can make it quite difficult to approach characters with long and low profile attacks. This is where we get to the next con. And I think this is more of the major con for Sol, which is risk and reward. Sol, at times, has to take risks just to make his offensive approaches work. Especially when you're fighting a matchup that keeps you out with range attacks. You may need to think outside the box and play risky to be able to get in to provide that offensive beatdown you want to, which is the reason why this is more considered a con. So with going ahead and covering some of the basic aspects of Sol's pros and cons, I think that we should all be able to understand that from this perspective, Sol is a very good character. In fact, with Strike compared to his XR days, it's really only gotten better for Sol in general. He's truly a force to reckon with in the game, and I think at this point I would like to actually go on and continue to talk more about, Sol's specials and overdrives now. The first special I'd like to discuss is GunFlame, Sol's only projectile. It's a trail of fire. Listen to me, it's a trail of fire that crawls forward along the ground, giving it a little extra for his neutral. It's a strong pressure tool. It can be Roma canceled, both purple and red, for your mix-up options, and it can be used as a combo tool. GunFlame can be combined with his dash momentum to allow Sol to, to slide forward and remain safe as the flame travels along with him. Overall, this special is basically Sol's "if I can't punch it, I'm going to burn it" move. Which just leads us into the next part of GunFlame, which is GunFlame Feint, which is basically a fake GunFlame. This is Sol's baiting tool. It does the same animation as GunFlame, however, there is no trail of flames crawling along the ground. This allows Sol, basically, to recover faster, making it very useful to reset the pressure between you and your opponent, as well as bait your opponent. Again, this special is basically Sol's "I gotcha, bitch" tool. Now this is going to lead me into discussing Volcanic Viper, the next special on the list, which is Sol's DP, that has both a slash and heavy slash version. With the slash version of Sol's DP, it has a much shorter startup and a faster recovery than the heavy version. Using Volcanic Viper is primarily a tool that Sol uses to try to steal the momentum of predictable opponents. So if you got that guy that's going to keep, coming at you and not going to do his mix-ups, you got this DP that's going to beat this shit out of him. This is considered more of your "get the fuck off me" move. This is going to lead us up to the next special on the list, Bandit Revolver, Sol's main combo ender, which is a flying knee that's followed by a spin kick. It provides very strong corner carry, so you land this, it's going to be pushing your opponent towards the corner of the screen. This leads to many different combo extensions. This is also going to get us into the next special, which is Bandit Bringer, Sol's diving punch. Falcon Punch? Well, I ain't got shit on this. This is one of Sol's most flashiest moves, and I think personally one of his coolest moves. It's considered an overhead move. This move is one of Sol's more riskier moves, however, in his toolkit, since it's highly reactable. This attack, I would say, should otherwise be mainly used to maximize your damage with your corner combos. Here's another special for you, Wild Throw. Who needs to play a grappler when you have a 2-frame command grab that does shit tons of damage? Well, that's Wild Throw. Wild Throw is Sol Badguy's command grab. It's an untechable throw that is mainly used in Sol's mix-up game for those players that are scared of you hitting them and only want to block. This move will remind them that blocking isn't everything. Hey, you feeling risky? Well, this is a special I've been waiting to discuss throughout this entire video. Night Raid Vortex. Basically, do you want to feel like Vin Diesel in the Fast and the Furious? Well, I got a move for you. Sol's Night Raid Vortex, the newer version of Ground Viper. It's a low-profile attack that rushes on the ground forward and delivers an uppercut of hellfire that launches your opponent airborne. Night Raid Vortex's distance is controlled by holding down the slash button. When used on its own, I will have to say that this is truly Sol's riskiest move. It is very reactable and super punishable. It's not something that you just want to go ahead and throw out willy-nilly, okay? Due to this move being super punishable, I'm just going to say that majority of Sol players, including myself, tend to rely a lot on Night Raid Vortex just to get in, and it really is devastating when you get punished for it. However, talking about risk and reward here, I will say that this move is still relatively good, okay? It does help you extend combo strings, and it can be used to help you punch certain projectiles that you can rush under depending on the range and recover your opponent, because it is a low-profile move. So continuing on, let me ask you this question real quick. Do you need to punch some sense into someone? Well, the next special here, Fafnir, has you covered. Sol's Flaming Straight Punch, which is a forward lunging move that guard crushes on block and leaves Sol at a high frame advantage of plus 11 on block, while greatly, listen to me, greatly increasing that risk gauge. Just letting you know that when nothing else is working, maybe punching it with fire doesn't hurt. Now it's time to get into the next discussion, Sol's Overdrives. Sol has two overdrives, the first one being Tyrant Rave. When you had enough, Tyrant Rave has you covered. Sol's first overdrive that starts as an uppercut into a straight fiery punch. This move is Sol's only full invincible move. However, the entire attack is unsafe either on block or whiff. As well, this overdrive is only invincible with the first half, as it's a two-hit attack. The attack is primarily meant to be used as a damage combo ender, especially for the corner because it will force a wall break. And now this leads us to our final overdrive, Heavy Mob Cemetery. If you are good at whiff punishing, or straight up you are a gambling man and you want to see some fireworks, well, Sol's Heavy Mob Cemetery can be your answer. This move has a full guard point from the super freeze until the end of the last active frame, allowing Sol to not take no damage as he is going straight for his opponent. This overdrive will make Sol charge forth in his Dragon of Stall form, command grab his opponent upon hit, and basically try to rip their soul from their body. This overdrive, however, is one that you should probably rarely use, as your opponent can simply jump over it. It's really designed for situational whiff punishing at best. But let's face it, you want to use it, right? So why not just go ahead and be a gambling man and whip it out? So overall, with everything laid out, what can I say about Sol Badguy in this character review? Well, let's sum it up. I think that you as a player who may be looking to try out Sol should really ask yourself this question. Do I feel like being an asshole today? Because this blunt, short-tempered man, personally to me, is a really great startup character for anyone who's looking to find a character that has easy tools, great buttons, very balanced in the way he plays, and let's face it, Sol also has protagonist privilege. Compared to most of the cast, playing Sol, you don't have to think. I would have to personally recommend this gorilla of a character to anyone who wants to play the game and just get a feel for it. With this character, it doesn't take much work to play. Sol allows you to do the things that you want without the added needed of thinking, really. He's super easy. He's very simple. He has great damage. He's overall one of the best starting characters to play the game with. Now, when it comes to maybe rating the character, I will have to say that Sol, again, is a very well-balanced character, not complicated in his mechanics. He has very good options to deal with almost every matchup, benefits, again, from the protagonist's privilege. And not trying to be biased here because, you know, I am a Sol main, but to any newcomer looking to play Strive, I would have to tell you that I would give Sol a 4 out of 5 gears. Sol will help you, in my personal opinion, get a grip of how the game system works and not really worry too much about thinking. He will just let you get in there and play the game. Alright, my dudes and dudettes, we're going to go ahead and end it here. We're going to go ahead and consider this episode 1 of the Strive character review series. If you made it here and you were entertained enough, and hopefully you liked this episode if you made it this far, would you maybe consider going ahead and giving up a sub to the channel, as well as leave a comment below on what character you would like to see come to this series? The idea of this series has come to me recently by, you know, playing other characters more than Sol to get a relative idea of how the character plays, works, and what they do. And I figured maybe creating a series for newer players who, you know, is looking at Guilty Gear Strive that wants a basic idea of the characters, but not from, you know, a higher level, just a basic general concept of what the character is, would be maybe appealing out there to some people. Now, I could tell you that I am planning to do an episode 2 on this series, and the character I'm planning to do would be Biken. But other than that, I would love to get your guys' feedback on who I should try in, you know, the streams to learn, and then, you know, do another video on. So, otherwise, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully, it's a series you guys like. Hopefully, it's something that we will be able to continue. And again, thank you. Just take it easy, and until the next time we meet again, how about we go first to 5? Okay? Alright guys, well, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.